is meant by the word reproductive? So it is a potential of living organism to reproduce a new one within the same species. Either it's coming from animals or human. So when we talk about system, okay, it is a structure. It is a step-by-step process in which major parts and other accessories or organs involved. That is why in reproduction, it is mainly a process to produce a new one or multiple offspring. And therefore, two gametes should fuse together when it comes to sexual reproduction. It could be coming from the female gamete, in which, okay, the formation and the development of egg cell is present, then fused also with the male gamete, okay, which is the presence of sperm cell. Okay? So once the sperm cell and egg cell fuse together, it will form a zygote. So this happens during fertilization. Once fertilization takes place, remember, okay, this is an indicator that a new cell or a zygote is formed. It's because egg cell is now fertilized. This happens right after reproduction or sexual reproduction, and then followed by fertilization. So once egg cell is fertilized by a sperm cell, zygote is formed. And what will happen next? Implantation, conception, and pregnancy takes place to woman. Okay? So that is why you may wonder, why women got pregnant. Alright? Because of that process of reproduction, then fertilization, implantation and conception, then pregnancy. And it may take a process or a period of time. For human, it could be within 9 months. And then, in that particular trimester, okay, in 9 months, so expected that baby will be delivered. Okay? So he or she will be given birth by her mom. Alright? So that's the reason. So this is the simple overview about how reproduction takes place for every human being or animal species. Alright? So, to continue. Why these things happen? First, we should learn about mitosis and the meiosis cell division process. So take note, guys, that this is very important, because remember that when it comes to human reproduction, okay, meiosis and mitosis cell division involve. This occurs in reproductive cells gamete. This produces egg and sperm cell with half of the genetic materials coming from male and the other one coming from female gamete. In short, sperm cell and egg cell, okay, fuse together. You have the reunion in the that particular period of time, no, during sexual intercourse for human and mating for animals in the same species. Now let's focus about human being. So in human, there are 23 chromosomes. These are contained in gametes. So when egg and sperm meet, they produce offspring. Okay, so therefore the product would be, that could be you, that could be us. Try to think about your mom and dad. They share their 23 chromosomes, each other and the other one for male. No? Your dad also shared their 23 chromosomes. Then it came out, no, that, for example, your mom got pregnant. So that product, that embryo or zygote, no, or a baby, she or he received 46 chromosomes, as what I've explained to you earlier. Why? It is because it is further developed by the help of the meiosis cell division through reproductive cells between two gametes, male gamete and female gamete. Right? So, therefore, you are entitled that you yourselves, ourselves, okay, obtain 46 chromosomes in general. Alright? So, there we go. So, there are organs of male reproductive system. Okay? So, mainly as I explained to you before, so I have here a model. The organs of reproductive system like the penis, the urethra, okay, here, then the vas deferens, okay, the scrotum, okay, in this area, then the testes, okay, within inside the scrotum, or what we call the testicle, in which mainly the substance inside where the semen is stored. And then the urinary bladder, in which urine, okay, is being stored in that particular period of time. But eventually that will be released through the urethra. You understand, guys? Okay. So this is mainly the model, the organs of the male reproductive system. Now to explain further, the external organs of the reproductive system. First, penis. When you talk about external, means outside. It can be seen through your naked eye. Okay? So, means to say it's visible to human eye. However, if we talk about internal, those organs are not actually visible, because it is encased with the skin of the penis or the scrotal sac. So, penis, that is mainly one of the basic term that we remember for male reproductive system. So this is mainly the organ, external reproductive organ, in which it is also attached with the urethra, where urine and sperm pass through the penis. Okay? Which is the portal exit is the urethra, and allows urine and semen to exit the body. Alright? So proceed. Another one, we have scrotum. Okay, so what is the scrotum? This is another outside part of your male reproductive organ. So it's visible again. It is the sac or pouch in which holds the testes. So this portion, guys, as you can see. So this is the portion of the testes. So the function of this, it is the sac or pouch which holds the testes, in which it helps to maintain the proper temperature of the testes, slightly cooler, and then body temperature should be maintained. So sperm is destroyed unless a temperature of 97 degrees Celsius, okay, is not properly maintained. So it must have a proper care, or what we call the body temperature, that has to be maintained in order that the sperm will not be damaged. So it will be stored properly in a scrotum. Next one. Internal organs. Okay, now we will focus inside. And actually, this is not visible to your eye, even if you are the owner of that organ. So if you own that one, especially for male organ, so we have internal. So to continue, there are internal organs of the male reproductive system. So when you talk about internal, means to say it cannot be seen in our naked eye. So it's hiding within the skin of the penis or in a scrotal sac. If there are external organs like the penis and the scrotum, okay, there are also internal organs of the male reproductive system. So it's not visible. So what are they? These are bladder that helps urine prior to urination. Urine leaves the bladder via the urethra, as you can see in here. So the urinary bladder is the storage container, the storage area where the urine takes place. So therefore, urine leaves the bladder via the urethra. But remember that semen or sperm and the urine, okay, has the same pathway to flow out, okay? But they will not go at the same period of time, okay? So the sperm came out, will come out, exit through the urethra too, and the urine, okay, which is a fluid component, exits at the same pathway, which is the urethra. So therefore, urine and sperm has the same pathway, okay, in which this fluid component can pass through, and the portal exit is a urethra. All right? Next, the word urethra. This is another internal organ in which a tube which allows urine and semen to exit the body. So this connects to the bladder. Another internal organs, okay? So this is inside part of the penis of the male reproductive system. One, prostate. This is a gland that secretes fluid, which is a component of semen. Okay? So I'll repeat. Prostate. It is a gland that secretes fluid component, okay, what we call semen. What about vas deferens? I'm going to point out to you, based on the parts that presented, in a clear, big picture in our slideshow presentation later. So, vas deferens, another internal organs, a tube which connects the testes to the urethra and allows semen to exit the body. So it is a small tube, okay, that connects from the portion of the testes. Okay, so remember this. Then the portion of the testes in which this also link, no, to the urethra and allows semen to exit the body. Alright? Continue. Next one, the word testis. So, testis is usually engaged with the scrotal skin or scrotal sac. That is why we call it as scrotum. These are two glands. So right here, no, in this portion, this is what we call testes. Two glands which produce sperm and hormone, what we call testosterone. Okay, that is a sex hormone produced in a male reproductive hormone. Here are the parts of male reproductive system. The first one here is the urinary bladder. Okay? The other one, symphysis pubis. Okay? Next, the vas deferens. The other one is the urethra. Then this is the penis. Then the other one is a glans penis. Then the prepuce. And where is the scrotum? So this portion is a scrotum, which is encased. The one who encase and protect the testes inside. Okay? Because these are the balls of testicles, the two glands, in which what we call it as testicles. Then, encased to the testes, the next layer that helps to support is what we call the epididymis. So, another one, we have the anus, which is very close to the scrotum. And then, this one is bulbourethral gland. The other one is prostate gland. Then, this one is ejaculatory duct. Okay? Then, the next one is ampulla. Then, the seminal vesicle. So, all these parts are categorized between internal and external organs of a male reproductive system. So, therefore, if we are going to summarize these things, okay, this emphasizes how those structures are really complex. Not just only by knowing about penis, not only knowing about testis or scrotum, but literally, there are major and minor accessories that are usually present. So, let's continue this. To summarize about the male reproductive system, the external structures, I'll repeat. These are composed of the penis and the scrotum. So, outside parts of male reproductive system. Penis are external male sex organ, usually circumcised. So, it depends in which country are you from, or it can be based also either in scientific or medical or religious experiences that some people believe about circumcision. It is the cleansing agent of the penis that some skin should be removed, especially the foreskin of the penis. So it undergoes what we call circumcision process. So especially those young male children. Okay? Then it could be also a choice, that some people undergo uncircumcised. Okay? They don't like to be circumcised. So foreskin is not removed. The other one is a scrotum. As what I've explained earlier, The scrotum, it is a sac of skin and muscles that contain testicles that helps to protect the testes, helps to support the weight of the two glands or two balls of the testes. Another one, internal structures. As I've said earlier in our previous discussion, these are composed of prostate, vas deferens, epididymis, testicles, the urethra, Cowper's gland, seminal vesicles. So what are they? So prostate, I repeat, another internal organ in which exocrine gland or male reproductive system. So it is an exocrine gland, okay, of a male reproductive system. Vas deferens, remember, this is a tube that connecting epididymis to ejaculatory duct. So what is meant by epididymis? Okay, so epididymis, it is also an organ where sperms gets matured. And what comes next? Testicles. Testicles, this is also an inside part, in which this organ where sperm is created or produced. Then the other one is urethra. So urethra, it is a tube that connects the bladder to outside of the body. Okay? So therefore, urine, then, and sperm, okay, can also pass through in that narrow tube, what we call urethra. Then, Cowper's gland, what is the function? This helps to secrete lubricating fluid along with the semen. How about seminal vesicle? Seminal vesicle, this one makes semen or seminal fluid production. Okay? So, those are the work or the job of the different parts of internal and external male reproductive organs. So, as what we've stated and elaborated earlier in our previous presentation, we were able to identify and familiarize those parts based on the given label on the parts of reproductive organs. So the male reproductive system, when it comes to reproduction, one of the essential functions of living organisms results from the union of two specialized sex cells. Okay? In which one from each of those coming from male reproductive cell and the other one is from female reproductive cell. In other words, the fusion of egg cell and sperm cell, okay, join in, and in order to fertilize, okay, with egg cell. And what would happen next? So fertilization takes place. So some structure and function of the male reproductive system includes both internal and external organs. Two main biological functions of male reproduction: production and storage of sperm. Means to say, that's for male reproductive cell. Right? The other one, help to transfer sperm into female's body. Okay? So therefore, as a whole, the penis structure, okay, the male reproductive organs involves sexual reproduction, helps to penetrate and transfer the sperm into the female's body, and to determine if the sperm brought with the genetic materials can swim through out from the cervix, bound to the uterus, to the fallopian tube, in which egg cell waits and meet with sperm cell. And then blastocized ovary. And what comes more? That's the time that we could also determine if egg cell will be fertilized or not. If no fertilization takes place, egg cell will melt down or dissolve as a blood discharge. That is why menstruation takes place for most women. If egg cell is fertilized, what will happen? Of course, implantation, fertilization, implantation, and conception takes place until the zygote develops the embryo until the fetus, in which this is the indicator of pregnancy. And the pregnant woman experiences pregnancy period until giving birth of a baby.